Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, being highly educated used to mean something. Nowadays, unless it's in a very specific professional field, well then having a degree is probably more of a negative than it is a positive. You spend $100,000 for a 4-year degree, only to come out a they-them with green hair and a septum ring, trying to promote your genius ideas to the whole world. You know, things like men who can get pregnant. The absolute sheer insanity these days of these highly accomplished academics. And boy, do I have the perfect example for you guys today. You have the highly accomplished academic individual versus a female student athlete who I don't even think graduated yet, but has basic common sense on her side. And boy, the encounter was just as embarrassing for the academic as you could possibly imagine. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so let's present both sides. On one side, we have Riley Gaines, who competed for the University of Kentucky NCAA swim team, and I believe she was majoring in health sciences. That's what her profile says. It seems that she's now put that on hold and is pursuing political activism. On the other side, we have Kelly Robinson, an American community organizer who is the current president of the Human Rights Campaign and formerly the executive director of Planned Parenthood Action Fund, a highly decorated useless activist person. Robinson received a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Missouri-Columbia in 2008. During university, she double majored in sociology and women's and gender studies. She left college for a while and worked as a mixed martial arts fighter and a bartender. So there you have it. Those are the two fighters. And then here's the encounter.
Women
and some that are short. You don't believe that a biological male has a physical advantage in sports over a biological female?
Not as a definitive statement.
Give me an example. Well, no, I don't think. How many female members of the NBA do you see?
Well, I can say that, there's been this news article about men that think that they could beat Serena Williams in tennis, right? That they think that they could actually score a point on her. And it's just not the case. She is stronger than that.
What's your experience, Ben? Male, female?
Both Serena and Venus lost to the 203rd ranked male tennis player, which they're phenoms for women. My experience, my husband, he swam at University of Kentucky as well. In terms of accolades and in terms of national ranking, I was a much better swimmer than him. He could kick my butt any day of the week without trying.
Nearly 2 decades of higher education and professional and executive experience in work as a social justice activist, and this is what you get. What is the point? I mean, the whole gender studies major thing is a meme, and people tend to use it as a joke, but clearly it's not a joke at all. There's a news article about men that think that they could beat Serena Williams in tennis, and it's just not the case. She is stronger than them. There's a news article, therefore. What an absolutely genius argument. The death blow in this debate. Well, there's a Vox article that said a thing in its headline, biology BTFO'd. And the funniest thing is that we've been here before. Even the Williams sisters themselves have admitted that they can't compete in the males league. There was a whole conversation about this, I think back in 2016, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, actually it's funny because Andy Murray, he was been joking about myself and him playing a match. And I'm like, Andy, seriously, like, are you kidding me? Because for me, tennis and men's tennis and women's tennis are completely almost two separate sports. So I'm like, if I were to play Andy Murray, I would lose 6-0, 6-0 in 5 to 6 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, because no, it's true. It's true. It's a completely. It's a completely different sport. The men are a lot faster, and they serve harder, they hit harder. It's just a different game, and I love to play women's tennis, and I only want to play girls because I don't want to be embarrassed. I would not do the tour. I wouldn't do Billie Jean any justice. So Andy, stop it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let you kill me.
I'm with you when it comes to tennis.
And in this case specifically, Serena and Venus Williams are total anomalies. I mean, they take the concept of female prodigy and female freak athletes to a whole other level. Their athleticism and strength is something that I don't think has ever been seen in female sports, and they still probably wouldn't even come close to competing at the upper echelons of the male leagues. And even they know that. In fact, grade schoolers would probably be able to understand that. But a highly educated, professional, useless activist, gender studies major Mrs. Kelly Robinson, is here, shows up in front of the Senate, and tries to argue that biological reality doesn't exist. Riley Gaines instantly stepping in, completely shutting down the argument in a single sentence without the gender study accolades and decades-long experience studying these issues and working in these fields. Both Serena and Venus lost to the 203rd ranked male tennis player, and to be honest, I don't even know if they'd be able to compete even lower than that. I mean, let's just take professional golf as an example. It's probably the best visual representation. You know, there's a reason why professional golfers are playing par 5s where the distance is always over 500 yards and sometimes up to 600 yards, playing back at the black tees. But the professional women, I think they do custom tees. Not exactly sure, but generally the course length equates to playing at the blue tees. In other words, in layman terms in English, female pros are playing a total course length of around 6,200 to 6,600 yards when the men are averaging around 7,200 yards for the total length, roughly 1,000 yards longer in the course. Why? Because they're simply stronger and they drive the ball further. You don't need to be a gender studies Einstein to understand why that is. But apparently you could spend all kinds of money becoming a highly educated leftist activist, spending all this time attaining a degree in copium and complete sheer ignorance. It is totally insane. Here's Kelly Robinson running circles trying to avoid answering the basic question if there is a difference between women and men.
Ms. Robinson, do you agree with Ms. Gaines that there's a difference between women and men?
If the question is about trans women,
I'm just asking, is there a difference between women and men?
I mean, what I can say here is that the NCAA has rules in place. They've had rules in place for the last decade, and when this competition
Okay,
happened,
I'm going to try again.
the rules were clear.
Do you believe there's a difference between women and men? It's a yes/no question. Do you believe there's a difference?
Oh, I think that we're talking about this case with the NCAA.
No, I'm asking a question. Do you believe there's a difference between women and men? Most people could answer this very simply. I'm curious if you're willing to do so.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just putting it into the context of the conversation that we're having. I think that there are definitions related to sex.
Is that a yes? So I'm trying to get a yes or no. I'm not trying to get a speech. Is there a difference between women and men?
I think that there are definitions for biological sex.
Okay, so you're not answering that. Let me ask you this question then. Why do women's sports exist? If you can't define a difference between women and men, why not abolish women's sports and just tell little girls to swim with little boys and see who wins?
Oh, I'm simply saying that that sex is different than gender.
Why
and I do believe that women's sports have a great value. I mean, Senator, I'll tell you right now.
Ms. Robinson, please answer the question I'm asking you.
Well, again, it's not exactly rocket science. Go to any basic biology museum or exhibit, well, any exhibit that hasn't been infiltrated by the woke mob, just simply observe Exhibit A. And there you go, there's your answer, and that's obviously just one portion of it. It's one part. Is there a difference between men and women? You don't need to write a thesis paper. You don't need to do extensive research. In fact, you don't even need to formulate a sentence. The only acceptable response is a 3-letter word, and that's it. Yes. Done. That's the answer. Can women compete at a high level in male sports? No. Is it fair for men to compete against females in their spaces? No. Can you change your biology, making it a level playing field after 1 year of hormone therapy? No. That's it. You don't need a fancy degree. You don't need years of experience. You need basic common sense. That's it. The gender studies meme is not a meme. It's reality. And you just saw that reality right before your very eyes. It's pretty much undeniable. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Of course, you know that we'd love to have you here. Thanks for watching, folks, and I'll see you on the next one.